GLC create local corporation. No. Gross leadership co-op. Actually, GLC stand for Government Linked Company. GLC defined as the companies that have primary commercial objective and the Malaysian government that has a direct controlling stake. So, controlling stake refers to government's ability to appoint board members, senior management, and to decide a major decision, either directly or through GLIC. So now, let's talk about GLIC. GLIC stands for Government Linked Investment Companies. They allocate their funds for the GLC investment. It's defined by the influence of the government to appointing board members, senior management, and having individuals reporting directly to the government, as well as providing funds to the operation placed by the unit holder. So now, let's check it out the companies under GLC and GLIC. After the independence in 1957, the new government mainly continued the market-oriented economic policy of the colonial British. This resulted in relatively rapid economic growth. In real terms, the average annual GDP growth rate was 4.1% in 1956 until 1960, 5% in the 1961 until 1965, and 5.4% in 1966 until 1970. Although the economic expansion in the post-independence period was respectable, it failed to make substantial contribution towards solving the issue of economic imbalance between the ethnic Malays, Chinese, and Indians. There are two characteristics of the post-independence economy that contributed to the fact that inequality between ethnic groups was not diminishing. First, little has been done to redistribute wealth towards the poor, and second is economic power was not reflected in political power. The disenchantment that had been growing among all segments of the population ultimately erupted in the bloody ethnic riot on May 13, 1969. As a result, economic policy moved away from a narrow focus on growth toward a broader set of objectives, in which both growth and a more equal income distribution featured prominently. So, the link between GLC and equality operates through the central role that GLC have been assigned to play in pursuing the affirmative action program. There is a large body of evidence that links all forms of discrimination in the labour market to persistent and rising inequality. As noted earlier, the target was related to wealth, and so we need to look at asset ownership and similar stock measure to hone in on the relationship.
It is estimated that there are 68,000 companies in Malaysia that are GLC. To further understand, we divided GLC into several sectors. So the first one is banking, oil and gas, conventional electricity, airlines, automobile, railroads, telecommunication, broadcasting and entertainment, travel and tourism, and lastly, delivery services. In fact, there are many more sectors that are also GLC, but they are not contributing as much as these 10 sectors.
Banking. Interestingly, most dominant bank assets in Malaysia are under GLC, and even top 4 of them are from GLC too, which are Maybank, CIMB Bank, Public Bank, and RHB Bank. For banking sector in GLC, Maybank is in the first place that has the largest asset in Malaysia, which is 765.3 billion ringgit Malaysia, and second place in Asia. Amazing, right? While the lowest asset is owned by Bank Rakyat, which is 105.15 billion ringgit Malaysia. Airlines. It is widely known that Malaysia Airlines is the flag carrier of Malaysia, with the net income 60 million ringgit Malaysia. It also owns two subsidiary airlines, which are Firefly and MACROECONOMICS. Oil and gas. The custodian of Malaysia's national oil and gas resources in Malaysia is Petronas. Everyone knows that Petronas is among the most profitable company in Malaysia and also top 8 in the world. Petronas owns assets amounted to 561.30 billion ringgit Malaysia. Conventional electricity. Tenaga Nasional Berhad, or TNB, is the largest electricity utility and monopoly company in Malaysia. It is also among the most profitable company that owns assets worth to 99.3 billion ringgit Malaysia. Automobiles. The example for GLC's automobile are: the first one, Proton. It is the first local brand car in Malaysia, which is Proton Saga, and it is followed by Pro2. The first car to be launched by Pro2 is Pro2 Kancil. Next, Modernas, the manufacturer of the Malaysian-made motorcycle and scooter. Railroads. Under railroad sector, there are Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad (KTM), like Rapid Transit (LRT), Mass Rapid Transit (MRT), Monorail, and Airport Rail Link. Telecommunication. The major telecommunication companies in Malaysia is Telekom Malaysia Berhad, TM Berhad, with the operating income 1.101 billion ringgit Malaysia. Next, Axiata, a Malaysian telecommunication conglomerate with extensive operations in Asia. Celcom is one of the subsidiaries for this company, and the total net income for Axiata totaled out to 1.2 billion ringgit Malaysia. Delivery services like Post Laju Malaysia, with the total of net income up to 84 million ringgit Malaysia. Broadcasting and entertainment. For instance, Astro Malaysia and Astro Radio. Astro Radio is the #1 radio network in Malaysia, which consists of various famous channels in Malaysia like Era FM, Hits FM, and Sinar FM. Menyinari hidupmu. Travel and tourism. The first one is Prasarana Malaysia. It is one of the largest public transport companies. The subsidiaries are Rapid KL Bus, Train, and Rapid Ferry. The next one is Consortium Transnational Berhad, or KTB, the biggest market player for public bus operator in Malaysia, with a service brand like Transnational, Priceliner, or luxury bus like Nice, and stage bus like City Liners.
In terms of GDP by economic activity, GLC contributes. For service sector, the growth rate is 6.9%. For manufacturing, the growth rate is 4.7%. For construction, 2.6%. For mining and quarrying, 0.5%. And for agriculture, negative 0.4%.
Now we will compare the total asset between two countries, which is Malaysia and Singapore. Firstly, we divided the sector into two sectors, which is bank sector and telecommunication sector. Firstly, for Telekom Malaysia, There's an increasing of total asset from 2014 to 2016. But by 2016 to 2018, there has been decreasing of total asset by 1,769 million ringgit. For Singapore telecommunication, or as known as Singtel, it has been increasing of total asset from 2014 to 2017. In 2017 to 2018, the total asset has been decreased by 14 million Singapore dollar. For second part, we also observe about the pattern of total asset for Singapore and Malaysia. As for Malaysia, we have the dominant bank, which is Maybank, and for Singapore, we have DSB for the dominant bank in Singapore. So, for this both country, it has been increasing pattern for the total asset from 2014 to 2018, which is the trend in 5 years. To conclude all the information that we have, we can say that the total asset for Malaysia is still far behind the Singapore. Why does this happen? Is it because of the date of establishment? No, the date for establishment for Maybank and Singapore, there is only 8 years of difference. But the total asset of value for Malaysia have a very huge gap from Singapore. For telecommunication sector, Malaysia also far left behind from Singapore. A part of the factor is because Singtel makes money outside Singapore through major telecom affiliates.
What do you think the challenges of GLC?
I will say that there will be inequality on ethnics because based on the stats that I read, only 0.4% or 28,727 of its members have about 47.2 billion worth of saving in it, which is more than the combined saving of the bottom about 51.9% or 3.6 million of its members, who collectively own 43.9 billion in the fund. The same data also show that 2/3 of its members aged 54 or less have less than 50,000 in their EPF account, while 1 in 5 have less than 8,000. So obviously, this data clearly highlight the high level of wage inequality resulting in similarly high level of financial asset inequality.
I heard that there is a political intervention on GLC. Can you explain about it?
You ask why there is a political intervention. Based on my opinion, this is because politicians took opportunity by using GLC to play a part in promoting international economic diplomacy. Back in 2007, our former Prime Minister Najib Razak visited the United States. He simply and clearly announced an unexpected and unusual objective associated with his visit, that of helping strengthen the US economy. This was to be done in several ways, including through purchase of Boeing aircraft using Employees Provident Fund EPF monies for the previously bankrupt but still financially ailing GLC, Malaysian Airline Berhad. The former Prime Minister also announced an increase in future investment in companies in the Silicon Valley through Khazanah Nasional Berhad. When business decisions such as these are made for express diplomatic rather than economic reason, this raises questions over financial soundness and ultimately national interest.
So, how can the political interventions become problems to GLC?
Firstly, JLC will be a monopolist company. This is controlled by government. Because of the lack of competition and government as the owner, there might be a lack in strict regulations. Due to that, consumer will suffer high price and low quality service. And furthermore, JSC debt also will be beared by government, which is be considered as government liability.
I also heard about the problem of bailout. Can you explain that too?
Okay. There has also been a string of government bailout over the years, resulting in huge drain on the public purse. Some of the more notable bailout in the past few years include 1.5 billion for Proton in 2016 and 6 billion ringgit for Malaysia Airlines in 2014. One estimate suggests that around 85.51 billion ringgit have been used to bail out GICs over the past 36 years. Given the enormous sums involved, it is also likely that the pressure placed on interest rate as a result of recurring budget deficits may have been a separate factor operating to crowd out private investment at the margin.
GLICs and GLCs have played key roles in our nation's economic development. The GLC transformation program was initiated by Tun Abdullah Badawi 10 years ago. Since then, this program has grown from strength to strength.
Secara umumnya kita dapati bahawa mereka yang dipilih bukan kerana kebolehan mereka dalam bidang perniagaan ataupun pengurusan. Mereka dipilih kerana mereka adalah penyokong parti. Mereka tidak pun mempunyai kecekapan dan mereka dapat gaji yang cukup tinggi. Jadi akhirnya kita dapati bahawa projek-projek di bawah pengurusan mereka ini gagal.